You take what you take.
You get what you get.
If it's a mixture, it's a mixture. But they haven't even done the studies. They're underway, guys. The studies are underway while they're giving you a mixture of vaccines. It's just interesting to study stupidity. Listen to this. Clinton Jaws, subscribe. It's me, Clinton Jaws. I woke up this morning and I seen an article I actually thought in my head, no, it's not true. And I spent all day reading about it, learning about it. I know it's not going to get any, I'm not doing this for the views. I know I'm not going to get any views. But I want you to see what I see. I like talking about stupid stuff. And I want to set it up this way. I want to start from the beginning. This is the beginning. Okay. Trudeau became... I know what you're thinking. Oh, it's about Trudeau. Not exactly. It's about Canada. But Trudeau... Recording. Trudeau, he's our prime minister for the next 4 years again. And I read his liberal plan. It's around 86 pages. I read most of it. I didn't read all of it. And there was one part that really scared me because I'm a creator, okay? I'm a YouTuber. And this part scared me. I want to read it to you. This is in the Liberal plan. Anybody could read this. It's right here, okay? Here it is. Too many people in Canada are victims of hate speech. Did you know that, Canada? Which is often amplified and spread on social media. Canadians want action. Do you? I guess Canadians want action. It says this. Canadians want action and they want leadership that will put a stop to harmful online content. Harmful online content. And hold platforms accountable. What's harmful online content? Keep listening. In the first 100 days, this is what the Liberal government is going to introduce. They're going to combat serious forms of harmful online content, specifically hate speech. Not hate crime. We're not talking about hate crime. We're talking about hate speech. Hate speech is something that, I don't know if you guys are aware, you can't even define it. They can't define it. Nobody can define it. It doesn't even really exist. They don't have it in America. They got the freedom of speech there. We don't have that in Canada. But they want to combat me, YouTubers. And they're calling it hate speech. Something they can't define. So what is hate speech? It's whatever they say it's going to be. So that's what worries me. I'm almost done. This would make sure that social media platforms and other online services are held accountable for the content that they host. Our legislation will recognize the importance of freedom of expression for all Canadians and will take a balanced and targeted approach to tackle extreme and harmful speech. So it puts me in a place where I sit down here and I'm like, man, I can't tell people I hate them. I got to watch what I say. The Canadian government wants to control me. And this is just a small step into something that, if they get their wish, you know it's just going to grow and balloon. Canada is built on freedom. America is built on freedom. But when you... Is it? Why are they trying to regulate? Do you guys really care out there that they want to combat hate speech? Can you give me an example of hate speech? Not hate crime, hate speech right now. It worries me because they don't want me to say stuff. They don't want other people to say stuff online. And it's whatever their weird minds think. Oh, that's hate speech. Not even hate speech, guys. Harmful speech. Harmful. That's harmful speech. Whatever they designate as harmful speech, you're in trouble. Hey, don't kid yourself. People are getting fined thousands upon thousands of dollars in Canada to say what they want to say. Some go to jail. Combat online hate. And you're probably wondering, why am I even telling you about this? Because it's stupid. It's stupid decisions. And, man, it's dumb decisions. And that's harmful content that I just said. I'm calling this stupid. Is that harmful content? What if I called it retarded? The word that you're not allowed to say. Is that harmful content? Oh my God, he said the word retarded. Do you know where we're going with this? It's a bad idea. Anyways, print this off. It's really great. It's a really good read. This is on one page. Continuing the fight against systemic racism and discrimination. They're going to talk about that. And fair justice and policing, because it's just police. You're the problem, police, and they tell you all about it. Key action plan here that you can read all about that they're going to do. And I just don't want to get into that right now. This stuff is gold. Like I could literally spend 50 episodes on this. Okay, so I'm going to do this video. Keep it in mind that whatever I say might be held against me in a court of law or something like that, right? Because that's true. I got to watch what I say. I got to read myself the official warning. I'm not obliged to say anything, but anything I do say, might be used as evidence. Something like that. Point is, I got to watch what I say. Let's move on to the article. Let's start from the beginning. Do you guys remember when Trudeau got vaccinated? Okay, he showed his sexy tattoo, and he was like, yeah. And I'm excited.
Yeah, I am very excited.
Yeah. It was a really exciting day for him. I hate talking about politics. I honest to God do. And I hate talking about him because I feel bad. He's just a young kid that is over his head. And I could probably drink beers with this guy, believe it or not. I actually think I could. And when I see him goofing around with his wife, I just know they're regular people. I won't get into it. I don't like putting down people. But I have to talk about this. In April, he gets a vaccination. In May, he says, Trudeau says he is glad he got Astrazeneca vaccine. And I thought, when I read this article, why is he glad he got the Astrazeneca? Why would you be glad you got that one? Why would you pick that one? Because he picked it. Why would you pick the most controversial, yeah, I can't say that word, vaccine out there to prove he's a warrior? Right? He wants people to follow him. It's safe. He wants people to take that vaccine. That vaccine he wants you to take to prove to you. Because he's a leader. And we need to follow him, right? But I read it and I just think, it's so strange to be glad that you took that one. And he tells Canada, you got to hear it, guys. He tells Canada this. The most important thing is to get vaccinated. With the first vaccine offered to you. The first one offered to you. It's how we get through this, he says. Is that really how you get through it? Guys, he said that in May. Don't leave me here, okay? You got to hear my point. He said this in May. And it is in direct contrast to the advice given Monday by the National Advisory Committee of Immunization. Okay? This is a big committee. National Advisory Committee on Immunization. We'll just call them Nancy, okay? They're Nancy. This is Group Nancy. The group is made up of 16 members. They're all doctors, okay? And other vaccine experts. So Trudeau says this. This committee, Nancy, says, I wouldn't listen to that if I were you. This is why. You got to hear it. Nancy says, vaccines from the Pfizer and Moderna are preferred because they don't carry the risk of a new blood clotting syndrome. So the group filled with experts and doctors are saying, you might want to wait on the Astrazeneca. Canadians who aren't at risk of COVID-19 may choose to turn down the offer of the Astrazeneca or Johnson & Johnson and wait until they can get an mRNA vaccine. Nancy says Canadians under 30 shouldn't be offered the Zeneca or Johnson & Johnson at all. This is what this committee is saying. This is what the committee said. Guess who it didn't land well with? When Nancy said this, guess who didn't like it? Nancy's advice did not land well among some politicians. And I'm like, why? Why would the politicians disagree with science? Isn't that weird? Isn't that what we're talking about? Yeah? Science? Why would Trudeau disagree with the science and get the AstraZeneca? We've been talking about science for the past year, 2 years. I don't even know. It seems like this has been going on for a long time, but that's all we do is talk about the science. Now you got to listen to this guy, guys. You got to listen to this guy. New Brunswick Education Minister Dominic Cardy says we are undermining the pandemic response. This is what he says. If a vaccine is approved by Public Health Canada, take the shot. That's what he said. Take the shot. Ignore Nancy. That's what he said. Ignore Nancy. He says it right here. Ignore anti-maskers and blah, blah, blah. It's unbelievable to me that you have people like this in Canada. Education Minister Dominic Cardy. Take the shot. Ignore the Nancys. So what happened around this same time when his comments come out? Person dies after receiving Astrazeneca vaccine. Care home resident has died. The resident, who was in his 60s, is the first person to die in the province. This is a second serious case of adverse effects from that vaccine. The person received Astrazeneca vaccine in mid-April and developed symptoms 7 days later. Take the shot. 2 other cases are currently under investigation. The death announced Wednesday is the third in Canada linked to the AstraZeneca vaccine. On Monday, an Alberta woman in her 50s died after developing a rare blood clot in her brain. Just take the shot. So this is what they're saying. So, in summary, okay, I'm not going to get excited. Wife thinks I'm going crazy down here. Trudeau takes the AstraZeneca shot in April. Nancy says, yeah, you might want to wait, okay? You might want to wait for another shot. Trudeau says no. He's glad. He's glad about this. Dominic Cardy.
Just take the shot. Just take it. Don't think about it, just take it.
There's more. This guy, he's a physician. Listen to what this guy says. Physician Dr. Brian Goldman said on Twitter, Canadians should not be choosy about which vaccine they get. You shouldn't be choosy, Canada. Don't be choosy. You don't get to choose. Don't be choosy about what you're going to get. If they're going to give you the AstraZeneca, you take it. Be choosy. What else does he say? It pains me to say. It pained him to say that. He felt a pain. He's in pain over this. Finally, we got a guy with sense. Nova Scotia Chief Medical Officer Dr. Robert Strang, however, sided with the Nancy. All our vaccines are good vaccines, but the reality is the mRNA vaccine are better vaccines. But I thought we had to listen to the science. What is the science? Do you even know? Because that's all they talk about. The science. But everybody's arguing. Well, people are dying from the AstraZeneca. Can you believe people are 3 people died from it in April or May? And these guys are saying just take the shot? It pains me that you're not. Easy for them to say, right? Then you have a guy that... I'm so confused. I'm so confused on what the science is. They don't even know. And by the end of September, approximately 24 million AstraZeneca and 10 million JJJs are coming. Now listen to this. After these people just sounded off on you, lectured you, spanked you. Listen to this. Listen to this. Because they're saying you better have faith. You need to have faith in the science. This is what they're saying. Have faith in the science. This is what it says here. There are studies underway. Studies underway. There are studies underway about mixing 2 different vaccines. They don't even have the studies. Now we're talking about something a little bit different, but they want to mix the vaccines. I mean, it's all right if you mix the vaccines. Canada's been encouraging, you take what you take.
You get what you get.
If it's a mixture, it's a mixture. But they haven't even done the studies. They're underway, guys. The studies are underway while they're giving you a mixture of vaccines. I thought the science was in. Unbelievable. It's unbelievable we're listening to these fruitcakes. Hate speech, right? Hate speech. Goldman. Like, what is this guy?
Don't be choosy. Hey, don't be choosy.
You just know he's a twerp. Like, oh, more hate speech. But you just know he is.
Oh, he's a physician.
And they go against a field of 16 doctors and experts on vaccines. And they tell you to trust the science. It doesn't even make any sense to me whatsoever. All of a sudden in June, Trudeau says this. Trudeau says AstraZeneca recipients will not be disadvantaged when they travel. And I'm thinking, oh, well, why would they be? Why would you be at a disadvantage when they travel? That doesn't make any sense to me. That makes no sense to me why you would say that. Some U.S. venues will keep out those vaccinated with the Astrazeneca shot. What? Trudeau told you to get it. He encouraged you to get it. These guys said, just take the shot. Don't be choosy. What? Why would... Are we dumb? Is Canada that stupid? Some U.S. places, some other countries, if you take the Astrazeneca, they're saying they're going to keep you out. And I'm thinking, why? Then Trudeau says his government is working with the U.S. and other international partners to ensure that Astrazeneca vaccine recipients face few barriers. And I'm like, few? Why are there any barriers? And didn't you just say that recipients of AstraZeneca will not be disadvantaged? But some U.S. venues are keeping you out? And now he's saying that he wants people who took that vaccination to face few barriers. Few? Why are they facing anything? This is your leader. This is the most powerful man in Canada telling you to take AstraZeneca. Mixed doses, doesn't matter. If you do, you get punished. I guess people are getting punished for mixed doses. Of course, he's not going to take a mixed dose. He was glad he took AstraZeneca. So, of course, the second dose is going to be AstraZeneca. Trudeau's commitment, he's making a commitment to you guys. This is his commitment. Comes at the first time when some U.S. venues are already suggesting they will only allow people who've been fully vaccinated with the United States Food and Drug Administration approved product, the Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, to attend certain events. Wow. Some private entities like Broadway shows and TV productions have signaled they will keep AstraZeneca recipients out. This is insane. One BC mayor, he wanted to go to the Springsteen. He wanted to see some Springsteen on Broadway, and they wouldn't let him in.
Let's take the shot.
Right? Right, Goldman? Discussions are still ongoing, Trudeau. He's discussing it with other countries, right? Like other countries are going to listen to Canada. We will definitely make sure that people who got 1 or 2 AstraZeneca doses will not be disadvantaged when they want to travel. That's what Trudeau said. We will definitely make sure that they're not disadvantaged. Definitely. We hope to be able to resolve those issues in the coming weeks. This is so stupid. And then, listen to this. Trudeau to get Moderna vaccine following first dose of AstraZeneca. Why? You were glad that you got AstraZeneca. Why would you mix your doses? Isn't that something? Maybe you don't think so. Your leader tells you to take AstraZeneca. He could have taken the second dose of AstraZeneca. So, not only did he possibly encourage people to take AstraZeneca when they shouldn't have, now he is encouraging mixing doses. And all these other tools laying around. I know, hate speech. Tools everywhere.
Just take the shot.
Telling you. Nothing to worry about. There's no disadvantage at all. Here's the kicker. This is what I wake up to this morning. And this is what got me on this. Not that this is like a big blockbuster or anything, but it's just interesting to study stupidity. I enjoy it. I like it. Even though it makes me angry. It's so dumb. Like these idiots. These complete idiots. Why wouldn't Trudeau... It doesn't even matter. Well, like, can't you just be normal people? And say, yeah, this is what we thought before. We were wrong. I probably shouldn't have taken the AstraZeneca, and I probably should have taken the 2 Pfizers. And you're Trudeau. You can take whatever you want. And then you got the dummy saying,
Don't be choosy. Beggars can't be choosy, okay? Just take it. Pains me.
Who said that? Yeah. Goldman. What a tit.
I'm a doctor. You listen to me, you just take it.
It's unbelievable. Yeah. And,
Dominic Cardy, just take the shot. Just take it. Just take it.
This is what comes out this morning. Canada must convince countries who reject mixed-dose travelers. What? Canada has to convince countries who reject mixed-dose travelers? What are you talking about? Why would Canada have to convince countries who reject mixed-dose travelers? You're telling me that countries aren't going to accept Canadians who have mixed doses. That's what's coming down the line. Because we're stupid. We now have to convince countries to let us in because we're stupid. What? No other country listens to us. We're one of the weakest countries out there. Nobody listens to us. Nobody's going to listen. You're not going to convince anybody. Because of Trudeau encouraging mixed doses in Astrazeneca, now we have to fight to fly somewhere. Nancy told you not to do it, and you went and did it. I thought you were going to trust the science, right? Have faith in the science. Canadians with mixed vaccines to travel across their borders may be tricky, but Canada has a responsibility to try to convince other countries to let us. A travel agent said. No, I'm not making this up, guys. I'm not making this up. And a part of me doesn't even believe it's true. The federal government is expected to release more details about a standardized vaccine passport for Canadians in the coming weeks. So what's that going to do? Listen, several countries, including the United States of America, only recognize people with 2 identical doses of an approved vaccine. Did you know that? Astrazeneca is not on the list of approved vaccines in many places. What that tells me is if you have 2 doses of AstraZeneca, see ya. If you have mixed doses, AstraZeneca and Pfizer, no, you're not coming. You can't go to Vegas. That's what this is telling me. I called Air Canada. They don't know what I'm talking about. And I'm thinking, holy cow, this dude, Brian Goldman, told us to not be choosy about the vaccine you get. And I'm like, what's he saying now? So I went to his Twitter page. I found his Twitter. And that article that's up there, he writes 2 words.
I agree.
Canada must convince countries who reject mixed-dosed travelers.
I agree.
That's what he says. That's all he says. Talking up a storm before, that's all he says. Well, thanks, dude. Hey? Thanks. How about those people? And you might be thinking, no, I don't want to go to the U.S. anyways. But maybe people need to go to the U.S. Maybe they work in the U.S. Maybe they have family in the U.S. Maybe it disrupts their life. Maybe it makes their life better to go to the U.S. And this dude was telling you not to be choosy all along. And what does he say about it now?
Agreed.
That's all he's going to say about it. You convinced people. It's people like you who convince people. Powerful people. You say things. It convinces people. And what does I agreed mean? I agree. What does that mean? What do you agree to? Because of people like you that now Canadians have to fight to fly somewhere? Is that what you're talking about? Why aren't you backing the people that took mixed doses because of your opinion? Why aren't you a voice now?
Agreed.
That's it. It just goes on his way. It's these fucking people. I'm tired of it. If I come on here and I say something wrong, I'm going to come on the next day and say I'm wrong. Why can't the bigwigs do the same thing? Nearly 4 million people have been vaccinated with AstraZeneca. And there's countries, and I don't even understand it. But what I'm reading is if you take AstraZeneca and another vaccine, your antibodies aren't as powerful as somebody who takes 2 Pfizers or 2 Moderna. That's what I'm reading. Don't know if it's true, but that's what I'm reading. United States hasn't approved mixing COVID-19 vaccines, and millions of Canadians have mixed vaccine doses. mean, how can you not laugh at it? I mean, we got a bunch of twerps. Honestly, running the show. Encouraged to take Astrazeneca. Encouraged to mix doses. Right, Bonnie Henry? Right? Everybody was encouraging it. Well, except for one guy who disagreed with it. At this stage, you don't want to just book anything, meaning a trip. Olmsted said, you want to work with a trusted travel advisor, and they can take you through every step of the process. I called Air Canada, and I was going to ask her, I was going to say, are you a trusted travel advisor? Like, what a stupid comment. You want to work with a trusted travel advisor? What's that? Well, what is that? How do you find a trusted travel advisor? How's that possible? So it's possible. It's possible they might change things in the coming days. But right now, as it stands, it looks like that the U.S. doesn't want you coming over in early November. You might not be able to book a trip in early November to the U.S. if you had AstraZeneca or you have mixed doses. But I was thinking, how are we going to... That means Trudeau can't even. Think about that. It's kind of humorous. And I'm probably the only one in the entire world that finds this even remotely justifiable to talk about. Like, why am I talking about this? I just think it's a bunch of monkeys running a country. I guess I'm getting tired of it. And I don't know how you get out of it. The booster shot, that's a great way to tell Canada, hey, anybody had mixed doses, you're going to want to get your booster shot, okay? So if you ask AstraZeneca and Pfizer, your booster shot will be Pfizer. Now you got the two vaccines. You can go wherever you want. It's a great way to encourage the booster shot. Anyways, don't know if I'm going to post this. I'm going to review it. It's probably junk. Love you guys. Not my best stuff. Bye-bye.
What's that?